And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. A very pleasant good evening here live from the Bosch, a place that the Tornadoes have dominated so far this season. It is a women's conference clash, a rematch from last postseason between the Brevard College Tornadoes and the North Carolina Wesleyan battling Bishops. Once again, a rematch from last postseason. The Bishops, the team that dethroned the Tornadoes in the conference semifinals, a team that split the season series in the regular season last year, coincidentally with both teams winning their matchup on the road. Brevard took an early season matchup at North Carolina Wesleyan, and then later on down the road, early February, the Bishops came in here on a Friday night and took down the Tornadoes. But the Bishops not off to the hottest start this season. More on that here in a few moments. Tonight on the broadcast, I will be joined for the first time by a partner, Carson Evans from the Brevard College men's basketball team, the color commentator and analyst on the call here tonight. Super excited to have Carson on the call for tonight and hopefully for a lot of the rest of the season when the men aren't in action for these women's clashes. Tornadoes and Bishops coming up here in just a few moments. We will return with lineups, pregame stats, thoughts, and analysis. And after that, it will be time for Tornado basketball here on a Thursday night in Brevard. Back in just a moment from the Bosch. Back here live from the Bosch, Brady Penn, along with my new partner, Carson Evans. And Carson had a talk earlier today with Coach Hudson. And Carson, I want to hear what you and Coach Hud discussed exactly and what you'll be looking forward to in tonight's matchup between the Bishops and Tornadoes.
Of course. Thank you, Brady. Yeah, so I talked to Coach Hud earlier before the game, and we just went over some key points. And the main thing he touched on was rebounding and keeping the Bishops off the offensive glass. He talked about how last year in 3 matchups that they played, the Bishops out-rebounded the Tornadoes, and he touched on just team rebounding and not giving up second-chance points. And he also emphasized he wanted his team to stay out of foul trouble. And then the last thing he said was get off to a hot start. He told me that the first couple games this season, the Tornadoes have not really gotten off to a hot start, and they've had to kind of fight back and claw back into the game. He really wanted to get the Tornadoes to understand that getting off to a hot start so they don't have to fight back so much and just take off early in the game.
Absolutely, and that's head coach Donald Hudson, who just picked up win number 78 in his career in a thriller over Barry, inching closer and closer to win number 80. And when it comes to that rebounding you talked about, Carson, this is a team that's well equipped to do that. The Tornadoes leading the USA South in defensive rebounds per game at 29 per contest. And on the defensive end of things, like you said, Coach Hudson wants tenacious defense. Olivia Miller, Josie Hester, and McKenna Parkins all in the top 10 of the conference in blocks per game. So a team that does not quit on the defensive end and doesn't give up a whole lot of second chance points. We've got the starting lineups for both squads, and we will go ahead and bring those to you here, starting with the North Carolina Wesleyan battling Bishops. Number 3, Janae Goddard, the 5'8" senior forward out of Williamston, North Carolina, Riverside High School, followed up by number 14, Arena Harris, the 5'3" senior guard out of Raleigh, North Carolina, Rollsville High School. After that, it's number 21, Deanna Adams, the 5'6" senior guard out of Middlesex, North Carolina, C. Holders High School. Then number 23, Corinthian Williams, the 5'9" junior forward out of Williamsburg, Virginia, Jamestown High School. And then rounding out the 5, one of the top players in the USA South Conference, Charisma Harrison, the 5'8" senior forward out of Weldon, North Carolina, Weldon STEM School. As for the Tornadoes, the usual suspects in the starting lineup, starting off with number 4, China Pouncey, senior 5'7" guard out of Dillon, South Carolina, Dillon High School. After that, it's the USA South leader in assists, Lexi Shepard, number 5, the junior guard, 5'2" out of Somerville, South Carolina, Somerville High School. Then it's number 10, Olivia Miller, who's been a force, the reigning USA South Rookie of the Year. Number 10, the 5'10" sophomore forward out of Hudson, North Carolina, South Caldwell High School. Josie Hester, number 15, the Tornadoes' leading scorer and one of the top scorers in the conference. Junior guard, 5'9", out of Huntersville, North Carolina, United Faith Christian High School, transferred over here from UVA Wise. And then to round out the starting 5 of the Tornadoes, it's number 24, McKenna Parkins, the senior forward, 5'11", out of Marion, North Carolina, McDowell High School. McKenna an all-conference selection last season. And those will be your starting 5 for both teams. Tornadoes led by head coach Donald Hudson in season number 8. He's assisted by associate head coach Annalie Bollinger in her 3rd season with the team. A postseason rematch from last year. 2 teams that split in the regular season. Tornadoes fell just short in the conference semis at Wesleyan. Should be a good benchmark here for the Tornado team tonight to see where they stand. Team that is still undefeated on their home floor, 4-0 here on Chick Martin Court at the Bosch. Brady Penn and Carson Evans bringing it all to you here live from Brevard, North Carolina. Back here in just a few moments for the announcement of the starting lineups and then tip-off between the Bishops and the Tornadoes. Testing, testing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Brevard College Athletic Department respectfully asks you please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, with the battling Bishops of NC Wesleyan. At 4, the 5'8" senior from Williamston, North Carolina, number 3, John A. Goddard. At guard, 5'3" senior from Raleigh, North Carolina, number 14, Elena Harris. At guard, 5'6" senior from Middlesex, North Carolina, number 21, Deanna Adams. At 4, the 5'9" junior from Williamsburg, Virginia, number 23, Corinthian Williams. And at 4, the 5'8" senior from Weldon, North Carolina, number 25, K-Dot Harrison. Head coach Martina Trigger, assistant coach Isaiah Jones. And now, the starting lineup for your Brevard College Tornadoes. At guard, a 5'7" senior from Dillon, South Carolina, number 4, China Pouncey. At guard, a 5'2" junior from Summerville, South Carolina, number 5, Lexi Shepard. At 4, the 5'10" sophomore from Hudson, North Carolina, number 10, Olivia Miller. At guard, a 5'9" junior from Huntersville, North Carolina, number 15, Josie Esther. And at 4, the 5'11" senior from Marion, North Carolina, number 24, McKenna Harkins.
And there you have it, folks, starting lineups for both squads, and all that's left to do is tip the ball off here on Chick Martin Court in the Boshemer Gymnasium. I'm Brady Penn, along with my partner Carson Evans, joining for the first time tonight, first of hopefully many times to come throughout the season, as the Tornadoes face the opponent that knocked them out of the USA South tournament last year in the semifinals, the North Carolina Wesleyan battling Bishops. It'll be Charisma Harrison and Olivia Miller for the tip. And the Tornadoes' leading offense in the USA South going to try and take it to the Bishops here on their home floor, a place that they are yet to be defeated, 4-0 so far on the year. Here's the tip. Miller takes it, Hester not able to corral it, and Wesleyan will start with the basketball as Adams swings over to Harris on the left side. Back to Adams, now Goddard. Williams, now to Harrison, one of the leading scorers in the conference. Back over to Williams and a travel.
That was good team defense on that first possession by the Tornadoes right there.
Something that Coach Hudson really wants to emphasize is applying pressure consistently on the defensive end and not giving up those second chance points like you talked about in the beginning of the pregame show, Carson. As Miller finds Hester, left elbow going up off the glass and a foul. A little short off the rim there, but 2 free throws coming for number 15. Josie, the leading scorer in the USA South, or leading scorer on the Tornadoes, third in the USA South, but first in the conference in 3-pointers made per game as the first free throw rattles off the back iron. The transfer from UVA Wise has added a new dimension to this Tornado offense as she sinks the second. Adams now over to Corinthian Williams, guarded by China Pouncey. Goddard, now Harris, picked up by Josie Hester. Harris looking for a pass, gets it into Goddard. Janae Goddard, top of the conference in 3-pointers. Corinthian Williams up top, swings to her left to Harris. 8 on the shot clock. Harris around a screen from Harrison, goes up, blocked. Josie Hester, it stays in play. Josie with the rebound, long pass, fits it into Pouncey. It's knocked away by Miller and a foul.
That was another great possession of defense by the Tornadoes. And what a block by Josie Hester on that one right there.
Absolutely, an exclamation point from Hester as the Tornado offense gets ready to take over once again. That was a good pass into Pouncey. Got interfered with a little bit from Miller and her defender, but Tornadoes do retain possession as Miller up top. Over to Pouncey on the left wing in front of the Wesleyan bench. Swings it up top to Miller. She climbs the ladder to get it. Backing down left side. Turn around, too strong. Gets her own rebound. Puts it up and gets 2 more. An early 3-point lead for the Nados here. As Deanna Adams accelerating and then pumping the brakes on Lexi Shepard, trying to find space. Not able to. Picks up her dribble, now goes over to Harris. Harris at the volleyball line, now to Goddard. Corinthian Williams right wing. Tornado strong defensive showing early on. Williams driving inside. Has to go into the corner. The 3 ball from Goddard, not there. Rebound brought in by Corinthian Williams. She'll take it all the way to the Chick Martin logo. Now Adams. Inside, Goddard gets 2.
And that's what Donald Hudson was talking about earlier, those offensive rebounds, and the Bishops got that offensive rebound, which led to the easy layup on the second possession.
Absolutely right. Tornadoes leading the conference in defensive rebounds per game. Want to keep it that way and not allow too many second chance points as McKenna goes to her left and now swings it over to Lexi Shepard. Lexi inside, floater, a bit short. Offensive rebound knocked around. Now Parkins has it. McKenna, Josie up top from downtown, too strong. Rebound up in the air, fought for. Hester has it. Josie around the corner, going inside, finds a pass to Miller. Mid-range jumper is pure.
What a pass. That was a great pass by Josie Hester right there.
Everybody moving on the floor for the Tornadoes, and a couple of lucky bounces of the basketball lead to 2 more Tornado points. As Harris once more on the left wing, picked up by Josie Hester, who's been great on both sides of the ball to this point early on in the year. Williams guarded by Pouncey and nearly doubled off by Parkins there. Instead goes to Harris up top, 7 on the shot clock. Harrison over to Goddard. Backdoor pass, Williams turning around, going up through contact and 1. So the basket and a chance for 1 more coming here for Corinthian Williams. The foul will be on Lexi Shepard. Or no, China Pouncey.
And those type of things happen when you allow middle dribble penetration. And you have to help and you have to step up. And the dish off underneath was open right there.
Williams knocks down the free throw, and we are all knotted up. Just about 3 minutes in here, 5 apiece. As number 5 brings the ball up the floor. Trying to go around a screen from Parkins, now accelerates inside. Doubled, gives to Parkins. Right elbow jumper is pure. McKenna Parkins had a big night on Tuesday with 22 points. And getting going here early on the offensive end. Adams gives to Harris, who tries to move her teammates around. Adams once again, now Corinthian Williams. Just got the and one a moment ago. Working on Pouncey, 10 on the shot clock. They keep getting deep into the shot clock without finding any open looks. Left side, Adams inside, back to Goddard. Pressured by Hester, 1 on the shot clock, and that'll be a violation. That tenacious Tornado defense early on getting it done.
That is great team defense again, and this is what Coach Hudson talked about, getting stops. And I think a lot of that starts off with Lexi Shepard. She plays full court defense, and it slows them down and leaves them with only a couple seconds on the shot clock.
Lexi has a seemingly never-ending motor, as Josie called for a travel there. Picked up the foot a little bit too quick, but Lexi, kind of like you said, one of the unsung heroes of this team. Lexi only averages about 6 points a game, but leading the conference in assists as well as 8 steals already on the year.
And she's very active, picking up the ball full court.
She picks it up there and picks up a foul.
She's a great defender, and she's a very willing passer, like you said, leading the team in assists.
Leading the conference, as a matter of fact. As Adams quickly pressured. That might be another one. It is. Lexi Shepard on the left wing. She'll slow things down. Left alone at the three-point line. Thinks about fitting it into Parkins. Now goes to Josie up top. Hester, McKenna, left elbow, going in. Up off the glass. 2 more for Parkins. Tornadoes getting into their sets a lot quicker than the Bishops are so far. I've seen at least 3 or 4 times the shot clock's gone under 10 for the Bishops already.
Oh, yeah.
As Johnny Goddard gives over to Corinthian Williams on the right wing, tries to get a bounce pass into Harrison. She's blocked, but a foul. Coach Hudson doesn't seem to agree. He thought Parkins went straight up.
And they were able to get it down low to the post, and it was a late rotation.
Correction, the foul on Josie Hester. That's the second Tornado foul. So Lexi Shepard wants to catch an earful of what Coach Hudson and the official are saying, as well as receiving some instructions from Annalie Bollinger on the end of the bench.
First free throw was good by Charisma Harrison, the leading scorer for the Bishops and leading rebounder for the Bishops as well.
She knocks them both down. One of the top free throw shooters in the conference as well. Top 3 in free throw percentage in the USA South. Harrison 6th in points per game, 1st in rebounds per game, and 2nd in field goal percentage. As China Pouncey has the basketball right side. Miller, now Lexi goes up to grab that one with one hand. Hester thinks about another three. Instead, she'll drive. Pass to Miller, going up quickly with a mid-range, and another basket for Olivia Miller there. And the Tornado offense finding everything in the first half of this opening quarter. 4:40 to play here in the first. NATO's leading it 11-7, two-possession game early on. Corinthian Williams, Pouncey on her, gets by, has an angle, puts it up, too short.
Strong rebound by China Pouncey there.
One of the better rebounders on the team. Defers to Lexi Shepard, who moves Olivia Miller inside and now turns and gives to McKenna Parkins in the low post. Going up short, rebound grabbed by Williams. Adams now pressured by Shepard. Gives to Williams. Corinthian Williams. Pouncey, the smaller defender on her. Gives over to Goddard. Harrison in the post. Quickly doubled. Stolen again by Lexi Shepard. Her second already. Gives to Miller in the open court. One-on-one. Olivia is going to win the race. So substitutions coming here. And a timeout. Timeout with 3:47 to go in the first. 13-7 Tornadoes. We will step aside for just a moment. A good start for Coach Hudson and his squad. Back out of the timeout, North Carolina Wesleyan basketball. Number 11, Anaya Hall, checked into the ball game, as well as number 4, Nadia Simmons. Simmons over to Hall, now Harris. Corinthian Williams. Harrison already out of the ball game for Wesleyan early on. As Harris, Hall was cutting. Instead, it's Simmons. Goes inside, puts it up, finishes.
It was a good drive by number 4, Nadia Simmons, and she was able to beat the defender to her right hand and get to the cup.
Couple of new Tornadoes in the game, Alexis Marshall and Michaela Street, as Miller goes up for a floater and gets another basket. 10 points already in the first quarter for Olivia Miller, who's getting it done offensively. Her and Parkins have combined for 14 of the Tornadoes' 15 first quarter points, as Simmons driving inside, pumps the brakes, free throw line jumper there for Goddard is pure. Wesleyan starting to answer a bit more consistently with the Tornado offense that is on fire, mainly Olivia Miller, the one-man show. As Hester spinning around looking for a passer, has a wide open Street on the cut. Michaela Street off the glass for 2 more Tornado points.
And that was such a smart play by Michaela Street. She saw that Josie had picked up her dribble, and she chose the back door as her defender was trying to take off the pass.
Absolutely. Wesleyan tried to put the pressure on Hester, and Michaela Street took advantage. As Goddard once more, this time on the right elbow. Spinning around on Miller, goes up, short on the layup, but a foul. That'll be against Olivia. It's her first foul. Third foul against the NATOs, as Nalia Boyce will check in. Nalia, who we haven't seen in the past 3 games of the concussion, averaging just under 10 points a game with 4 boards a game. She was the leading scorer against Bob Jones in the season opener. Cannot get the first free throw to fall. There is Johnny Goddard, senior at the line, going to try and salvage the pair here. And does. And now another battling Bishop coming in. It's Harmony Martin, a freshman guard out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Alexis Marshall at the point after relieving Lexi Shepard. 2:17 to go here in the first. NATO's leading it by 5. Olivia already with 10 points. And an offensive foul there against the Tornadoes, or a violation.
I believe that was a moving screen on Michaela Street. They were trying to look down low for Nalia Boyce.
Up top, it's Martin. Ranging to her right on Marshall. Flips a pass over to Goddard. The long two is way too strong there as Michaela Street gets it off the Boyce rebound. Street in third gear, going inside, going up, and cannot finish. Michaela just tried to sprint past every Bishop defender on that one. A one-man fast break. As Belton gives over to Simmons. Inside, she's trapped. Gives back over to the newly checked in Martin. And there's a 2 for the Bishops.
And again, when you drive middle and penetrate, the help has to step up, and that allowed the Bishops to get a free cut to the basket for the layup.
Jada Petty-Wilkins awaiting by the scorer's table to check in. As Street goes to Josie. Josie from deep, can't knock it down. Rebound hit over to Alexis Marshall. Marshall charges in herself. Boyce, a Bishop hits the ground. Hester, mid-range jumper, no good. And the offensive rebound brought in by Miller, who goes up again and is fouled. Olivia Miller, 10 points already in the first quarter and a chance to add 2 more to that.
A couple offensive rebounds for the NATOs on there, kept that possession alive. A couple of shots were just short around the rim.
That foul was on Alexandria Belton. As you said, the second and third chances there leading to more Olivia Miller points. As she knocks down both free throws. 12 first quarter points for Miller.
Yep, Olivia Miller's up to a great start. She has such nice touch around the rim, just has a knack for putting the ball in the basket.
Absolutely, a very good young post player for Coach Hudson and the Tornadoes to use for years to come. Only a sophomore as that one's ripped away and stolen. Alexis Marshall on the fast break. She'll slow things down. Did not have numbers. Now goes over to Street. Michaela charging in, accelerating, loses the basketball, and a turnover there. Third Tornado turnover here in the opening quarter. As Simmons gives down low to Hall. Turnaround jumper is good. Tornado lead down to 3 here as Petty-Wilkins left alone from downtown, too strong. Tornadoes not knocking down their threes early on as Simmons accelerating down the floor, gets caught between defenders, looking for a pass up top, wide open for 3, and knocking it down is Harmony Martin to tie this one up in the late stages of the first. We'll see if the NATOs get a shot off. Street, 3 on the clock, 2. Stepping back, pass Boyce, and they will not get a shot off. I don't think Nalia realized how much time was left on the clock, so the late 3 by Martin will have us deadlocked at 19, heading to the second. And Carson, what are your thoughts on the Tornadoes, both sides of the floor after 1 quarter of action?
Yeah, so I like what I saw from the NATOs to begin. They had a lot of shots down low, and that was really working for them. They took a couple of shots from deep, and they couldn't get them to fall. A couple of shots were short, but the Bishops really battled back and have made this game a lot closer than what we thought it was. And just overall, the Bishops have answered, and they hit a couple shots. They're able to dribble middle and penetrate and kick out for shots or backdoor cuts for the layup. So
absolutely,
we got a 19-19 game here, so I think the Bishops have kind of found their rhythm, and we've got to see what type of adjustments the NATOs make.
Bishops kind of, once both teams' second units came in, the Bishops sort of took advantage and perhaps trying to impose their will with what they appear or what they perceive as the better depth. But Coach Hudson obviously likes to shuffle his lineups around, and I'm sure won't let that go on for too long. As Miller, really the mainstay on offense so far for the Tornadoes, 12 points for her in that opening quarter. Between Miller and Parkins, 16 of the 19 Tornado points. The only other 3 coming on a Josie Hester free throw and then a Michaela Street wide open layup.
Yeah, I think if the NATOs keep getting it down low and sticking to their plays, they'll do a great job here in the second quarter.
About ready for second quarter action here as the Tornadoes take over to start it off. Alexis Marshall. Now Street. Up top, gets crossed up a little bit, now gives over to Petty Wilkins, who takes a mid-range jumper, cannot find it. Offensive rebound, Michaela Street, a tangle for the ball, and it'll be a jump ball. Possession arrow will go Wesleyan's way. And so a defensive stop, technically, on the opening possession of the second quarter for North Carolina Wesleyan.
And Michaela Street does a great job rebounding offensively and defensively for the Tornadoes.
Just got tangled up and had the possession arrow going the wrong way that time as a backdoor cut and pass is intercepted by Jada Petty Wilkins. Petty Wilkins stolen herself, going inside Belton, who goes up with the left-hand layup and is able to finish it. North Carolina Wesleyan with the lead early on here in quarter number 2. A game that feels like it's been controlled by the Tornadoes for the most part. Sees them trailing early on in the second as McKenna nearly lets the pass ricochet off her hands. Instead, she'll go to work inside on Simmons. Going up with the short two-pointer, no good. As Simmons racing up the floor, tries to fit a pass, and it's intercepted by Alexis Marshall. Looking like a free safety on that one. Marshall up the floor. Now she'll look around, finds Parkins up top. Fits it into Boyce, and no, knocked away. Fighting for it now and trying to save it is Anaya Hall. She will not be able to do so successfully, and it'll stay with the Tornadoes. Lexi Shepard will check back in here. Jada Petty Wilkins will have a seat.
And that was the second steal for Alexis Marshall. She's came in and shown a lot of energy on the defensive end.
Her and Lexi Shepard, both point guards with 2 steals so far. As Shepard gives to Street up top. Michaela fits into Parkins on the bounce pass. McKenna to her left, tries to find Boyce. It's off her hands. She is able to recover. Back to Parkins, turning around, going up. She's blocked, and a foul. A late foul. The Wesleyan squad wanted a shot clock violation. Instead, it'll be a foul against Anaya Hall. 2 free throws coming in for number 24. Trying to tie this thing back up early in the second. Parkins, money on the first. And both good there for Parkins. 6 points for her early on. Looking for a pass to Belton. It's intercepted. McKenna Parkins with a steal. Great pass to Lexi Shepard in the open court, and she can't finish the layup. Lexi let herself run a bit too far past the rim. Could have given the Nados the lead back. Instead, it's Simmons with the basketball for Wesleyan. Crossing over, going inside, up off the glass, and the foul. Wesleyan immediately retaking the lead, and a chance for a three-point play for Nadia Simmons.
Nadia Simmons, number 4 for the Bishops, she was bringing the ball up the court, picked up by Lexi Shepard, and they chose to set a screen to get Lexi off of her, which allowed her to get downhill and attack the big McKenna Parkins for the Nados.
So back to a 3-point game here, 24-21 Wesleyan, about 2 minutes into second quarter action. Lexi directing the offense here. Finds McKenna, who whips it into Street, and a foul on Wesleyan. That'll be against Dorinda Jordan. Her first foul. Second for the Bishops as China Pouncey will come get Michaela Street prior to the inbound. Lexi trying to find a pass and does. China Pouncey in the left corner. China cross court to Lexi Shepard. Lexi tripped up and another foul. This one against Anaya Hall, and albeit incidentally, not sure her disagreement there. Clearly the foot tripping up Lexi Shepard. That'll be the third foul against the Bishops as we finally will see Charisma Harrison come back in.
Second foul on Anaya Hall, and she exits the game.
Another foul on Wesleyan immediately. North Carolina Wesleyan getting a bit too handsy on defense here to start the second. Their fourth foul already, just over 2 minutes in. That one will be on the newly checked in Harrison. That's already her second. Nalia gets the ball in the corner, now goes over to Marshall. Redirects to Lexi Shepard. Lexi, right to left, picks the foot up, now gives to McKenna. McKenna in the high post, tries to float one into Boyce and cannot. It's taken away by Jordan. Simmons now racing up the floor, gives to Harrison. Harrison one-on-one with Parkins, passes over to Martin. Martin inside. Floater, too strong. Rebound, knocked out of the hands of Nalia Boyce. It'll stay with Wesleyan. Arena Harris will come back in here. Harris second in three-pointers made per game in the USA South as Harrison goes up over Marshall to bring that one in. Finds a cutting Jordan who goes up and gets the basket. All of a sudden, a little bit of a run here in the early part of the second for Wesleyan, up by 5.
It was a nice pass by Charisma Harris. She saw the backdoor cut open and she threw it. It was a good look.
Nalia in the high post, looking for a teammate, has Parkins. McKenna from deep, can't find it. Rebound to Rinda Jordan, and now here goes Nadia Simmons, picked up by China Pouncey. Simmons inside, and she's fouled. That's on China Pouncey. That's China's second foul and the Tornadoes' second foul as Josie Hester and Olivia Miller preparing to check back in here, as well as Corinthian Williams for the Bishops. Harmony Martin will head over to the bench, as well as Nalia Boyce and Alexis Marshall for Brevard. 2 more free throws coming here for Wesleyan, who holds a 5-point lead, just about 3.5 into the second. First one good there for Simmons.
Yeah, and I like what I'm seeing from Simmons. She's really putting pressure on the NATO's defense, trying to get downhill, and it's really been successful early on.
Simmons' second free throw is off the mark, and it'll be a lane violation against the Tornadoes. I think that might have been on Miller. And so another try here for Simmons, who hits. Lucky break there for Simmons, who converts both free throws, or 2 out of 3, whichever way you want to look at it, although the miss is unofficial. China Pouncey with the basketball on the right wing, picked up by Harris, goes over to McKenna. McKenna to her left, trying to find Miller, and a foul. Another foul against Dorinda Jordan, and really undisciplined defense from North Carolina Wesleyan so far in this second quarter.
A couple tacky fouls, and number 10, Dorinda Jordan, just seemed like she got a little overzealous trying to jump the pass and was called for the foul.
Sort of knocked Parkins off her feet. John A. Goddard back in for Wesleyan as the Tornadoes now in the bonus. We'll see McKenna Parkins shooting 2 free throws. The first one is good. As is the second off the roll. McKenna picks up 2 more. As the Wesleyan offense going to go fast. Harris over to Williams. Pass down low to Harrison. She's picked up quickly by multiple defenders. Up top, Simmons finds Harris underneath. She retreats over into the corner. Up top, Goddard. Williams once more. Going inside now, Simmons. She stops into the corner. Goddard going inside, doubled. Back to Harris in the corner, 5 on the shot clock. Harris around a screen, looking for a pass, fires up a wild shot, air ball, rebounded McKenna Parkins.
Great team defense by the NATOs on that possession right there again.
McKenna will take it up herself and find Pouncey. Pouncey, quick move, going up off the glass. No, can't find the glass. Nothing there for the Tornadoes on offense. Simmons, right side Harris, from deep, can't can it. Rebound Williams, inside, floats it up and a foul. A lot of whistles here in this second quarter on both sides of the ball. Already the 8th foul between the two teams, and we're not even halfway through the second.
And those are those key possessions that Coach Hudson talked about before the game, not letting the Bishops get offensive rebounds, and they got an offensive rebound, which will lead to 2 free throws here for the Bishops.
Williams in and out on the first as number 21, Deanna Adams, back in for the Bishops here. Second free throw also too strong. Rebound Josie Hester. So an empty-handed trip to the stripe for the Bishops there. Josie Hester might be trying to push the pace. Looks for a cutting Parkins and finds her. Pass was tipped, but McKenna does come up with it. McKenna faking, goes up mid-range, can't get it. Offensive rebound to herself. McKenna through contact, pass intercepted. McKenna goes for the steal and can't get it. As Adams, with Shepard on her, goes to Harris. Up top now, Goddard. Corinthian Williams trying to put the footwork on Olivia Miller. Nearly loses the basketball, gets stuck. Down low, Goddard going up, can't find it. Rebound, McKenna Parkins. Lexi with 4:48 to go in the first half. NATO's trailing by 5. Calling out the play here. Lexi to her left to Olivia Miller. Need to find a way to get her back involved in the scoring. Had 12 in the first quarter. Now back over to Lexi. Lexi, right to left, stepping back. Free throw line jumper is there off the roll. Nice move there from Lexi Shepard, and 2 more for the NATO's. It's a 1-possession game once more. Williams, left alone, going to set her feet and fire and knock it down. Big answer there from Wesleyan. Doubles the lead up to 6 with 4:15 to go in the half.
Looks like the NATO's were not set on defense in the transition, and they got the early 3 by number 23.
Hester trying to float one into Parkins, cannot, and actually McKenna able to rip it out of the hands of Goddard and snatch 2 points away from the Bishops, who should have had another steal there. Might still count it as a steal with Parkins stealing right after, but either way, 2 points for the Tornadoes. Williams again on the right wing, looking for Harrison. Instead, she'll go in herself. Floater, way too strong. Rebound, Josie Hester. 3:42 to go in the half. Josie to Lexi. Up the left side, surveying. Lexi gets a screen from Miller. Goes around it. Pouncey gets by a defender. Now stops. Goes to Hester. Josie, left to right. Inside. Goes up off the glass and a foul. Nearly was able to get the 3-point play. Instead, she'll settle for 2 free throws after another foul by Wesleyan, their 6th. Immediate timeout coming here, and we'll check back up with you again, Carson. What are you seeing now in this second quarter? Obviously, the Tornadoes not scoring quite at the pace they were in the first. 19 points in quarter number 1, only 8 so far in the second.
Well, I feel like they were trying to force some passes down low, and the Bishops were playing great defense, got hands, and were being active and got some steals, which led to some transition buckets on the other end. And for the Bishops, they've been doing a good job getting down low and attacking and putting pressure on the defense. And there was a few offensive rebounds that the NATO's gave up, which led to some free throws and early fouls. So I just feel like the NATO's don't need to force passes or make sure they don't turn the ball over when they're trying to get down low, because I know that down low and the close shots have been working for them. So just make sure that they get the passes down there without turning the ball over.
When it comes to the way that Coach Hudson wanted to defend and kind of neutralize Charisma Harrison, Tornadoes have come out with flying colors in that department. Harrison only 2 points, 0 field goal attempts, and get this, the leading rebounder in the USA South still yet to record 1 so far in this game.
And that's huge. You know, we got 3 minutes left in the second quarter before halftime, and the leading rebounder, like you said, with only 0 rebounds, that is huge. And I feel like that's a key point that they worked on in practice was keeping the Bishops off the glass, and especially number 25, Charisma Harrison.
So 2 parts of the Brevard 3-headed monster into double figures as Parkins and Miller both over to the 10-point mark, but Josie Hester, the third part of that 3-headed monster, trying to knock down both free throws here, and will. Josie has 3 points now. Christina Roan will check in for the first time tonight for the Tornadoes, as Adams going to try and win a foot race with Lexi Shepard. Lexi thought about going for the steal. Instead, a pass over to Corinthian Williams. Down low, Goddard. Williams, another 3 ball. This one off the mark. Rebound brought in by China Pouncey. Great board there from number 4.
Very good rebound right there.
Roan calling out the play. Gives to Lexi. In the corner, Lexi Shepard. McKenna fighting for position. Lexi looking for the cutting Pouncey. Instead, Parkins will go up and try and grab it, and it's snatched away by Harris. Harris does not have numbers, 4 on 2. She'll spin around looking for somebody. It's Simmons and a travel. Simmons tried to take off before she had dribbled.
And the NATO's are really looking to get it down low. They just have to complete those passes and not turn the ball over.
Wesleyan sort of seems to know what's coming. The plan of attack by Brevard as China Pouncey has it on the right wing. 2-point game, just over 2.5 to go in half number 1. Roan to her right. Shepard stepping back. Deep jumper, no good. Apologies on the misspeak there as Nadia Simmons brings the basketball up the court. Nearly taken away by McKenna Parkins. Instead, it's Goddard going inside, and an easy layup blew by McKenna Parkins there on the outside. 4-point game, 2:10 to go here at the Bosch. The number 1 and number 2 preseason USA South teams clashing here. Miller over to Roan. Christina looking for a pass now in the corner. Pouncey, a long 2 is good. China Pouncey, not known for her scoring abilities, just over 4 points a game, but gets the 2 there. Simmons going inside, looking around, up top. Adams, 3-ball, good. It seems like every time the Tornadoes start to get close to getting back even or out in front, the Wesleyan Bishops have an answer.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a back-and-forth game all night. It's going to be a battle.
Shepard to Pouncey, right back to Lexi. 1:27 and counting to go. As Lexi spinning off a defender, goes inside, wide open layup, way too strong. Lexi could not finish. And now Simmons going to try and race up the floor again. Does not have an advantage in numbers. Adams ranging to her left. Harris, a 3-ball, bottoms. Back-to-back threes for the battling Bishops have cushioned this lead to 8 with 1:04 to go. And Coach Donald Hudson and his squad have to make sure this thing doesn't get away from them as they head into the break. Need some offense here. Roan trying to let the offense develop. Miller telling her to go right, and she does. Over to Pouncey. Pouncey did not give it to the cutting Roan. Instead, Parkins up top, who tries to fire it into Miller. It's last touch by Miller, according to the official, much to the dismay of this Tornado crowd. I thought that was last touch by a Wesleyan defender.
It appeared to be touched by a Wesleyan defender on that, and the crowd disagrees.
The officials deeming that it was last touch by Olivia Miller, so Wesleyan will get the basketball back up by 8. Couple of threes these last 2 possessions. Harris over to Adams. Adams to her left, now Williams. Williams is fouled.
And the Bishops are starting to push the pace a lot more late in this second quarter, leading into halftime. And they're putting a lot more pressure on the NATOs.
Absolutely, a reach-in foul there by Lexi Shepard. 30 seconds to go here in half number 1, 39-31, North Carolina Wesleyan. Williams into Simmons, who's quickly swarmed by China Pouncey. Now Harris. Down low on the left elbow. Turnaround jumper is no good there for Goddard. 20 seconds. NATOs can't get the last shot, but will push the tempo and a foul. 2 free throws going to come here for Olivia Miller with the NATOs in the bonus. And a chance to cut the lead back down to 6. Miller cannot hit the first free throw.
And we're almost a half a basketball in, and North Carolina Wesleyan only has 3 offensive rebounds, which is a key point that I talked to Coach Hudson about before the game. Keeping the Bishops off the glass, and the NATOs are doing a great job so far.
Absolutely. Olivia Miller splitting the pair of free throws there, and we'll see what North Carolina Wesleyan does with what could be the final possession of half number 1. Leading by 7, 39-32. Simmons, Williams, left side Harris, guarded by Roan. 8 seconds. Harris, not in any kind of hurry. Goddard, down low. Harrison, going up, finishes. And that will take us to the break. A last-minute basket for Harrison. Her first made field goal of the first half comes with under 10 seconds to go up until the break. And henceforth will give North Carolina Wesleyan a 9-point lead heading into the half. Olivia Miller with a really good offensive first half. Her and Parkins have combined for 22 of Brevard's 31 points. In just a moment, me and Carson will return here with some halftime thoughts, stats, and more. We'll step aside for the time being. Rejoin you here in just a moment. About 10 minutes until second half basketball here at the Bosch. Back here at halftime from the Bosch, Tornadoes and Bishops. And a really good matchup so far in half number one. 41-32 North Carolina Wesleyan lead. A couple of late first half baskets for Wesleyan. Kind of have the score looking not quite as close as it really has been in this contest. But the big difference between the two teams is efficiency. Both the Tornadoes have knocked down 11 field goals. Wesleyan's knocked down 15. 56% clip for Wesleyan, only 41% from the field for Brevard. And as for time with the lead, it's been pretty even. 9 minutes and 7 seconds of the lead for BC. In fact, that's longer than Wesleyan has the lead at 8 minutes and 54 seconds. But Wesleyan has kind of padded that lead late in the first half, like we said, with a couple of late three-pointers and then that last second basket by Charisma Harrison. And then one final thing before we get to you, Carson. North Carolina Wesleyan with 18 bench points, Brevard only with 2. And you could kind of feel it. This game started to shift once North Carolina Wesleyan brought in that second unit and kind of started to impose their will in terms of depth. So one thing that Coach Hudson is going to want to see in the second half is less of that for Wesleyan and more of that from his bench. What have you been seeing out there, Carson?
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of things, and both teams have been playing very well. A lot of energy being played, and Brevard is leading the offensive rebounds battle 6-3, and that is one of the things that was emphasized. Keeping the Bishops off the glass, and they've been doing a great job, especially on number 25, Charisma Harrison, who only has 4 points and 0 rebounds. So they've been doing a good job on the team's leading rebounder, as Charisma averages 10 rebounds a game. And also, the Tornadoes need to limit the turnovers that they commit. They're not too bad in the turnover battle right now. It's only 8 for the Tornadoes and 9 for the Bishops, but they've been trying to force a lot of passes down low, and I know the down low game has been working as they have 20 points in the paint of their 32. So they're trying to look down low. They just need to focus on making clean, crisp passes, and which doesn't lead to turnovers because the Bishops are capitalizing off of turnovers.
100%. Tornadoes find themselves down 9 here at the break. But if there's one thing to kind of look forward to in the second half, to me it's Josie Hester. The past, really, it seems like 3 or 4 games, Hester has kind of had a quiet first half, and then I'm not sure if Coach Hudson says something to her, if she looks at her numbers or what, but Josie Hester has had a couple of quiet first halves and then exploded in the second half. Multiple double-digit second halves for Josie Hester, and hoping to see more of that in this second half, as well as Olivia Miller and McKenna Parkins to continue to score themselves. 22 of the 32 Tornado points have come from those two players. 23, I believe, actually, if you include that final free throw from Olivia Miller. So should be a good second half between the Bishops and the Tornadoes. Just under 10 minutes away from the second half. We will step away and join you at the beginning of half number 2. NATO's trailing at 41-32 in a rematch from last year's postseason. Back in just a moment, Brady Penn and Carson Evans. Back here at the Bosch, nearly time for second half basketball. Brady Penn joined once again by Carson Evans. And the Tornadoes find themselves down 41-32 at the half. For those of you just now joining us, the game has been, as I mentioned during the halftime show, a lot tighter than the score indicates. The only real discrepancy between these two teams is the bench points and the field goal percentages. And then obviously from beyond the arc, Wesleyan having a much more successful night. As you said, Wesleyan has knocked down 4 of their 7 threes. For the Nados, still yet to hit one in 5 attempts. So looking to sort of alter that trend in half number 2. But other than that, Tornadoes are playing really good defense, and as we stated, have done a great job of defending Wesleyan's probably top weapon, Charisma Harrison, who's top 10 in the conference in points per game and also leads the conference in rebounds per game. She has 0 rebounds and 4 points at the break. And kind of talk a little bit more, I know you mentioned at the halftime show, of how they've been able to do it and how they've been stopping Harrison.
Yeah, I think a key thing that's been big for the Nados in the first half is those rebounds and keeping the Bishops off the offensive glass. And also, they've been limiting the looks for Charisma Harrison. And I bet in the second half, she'll be coming out looking to be a lot more aggressive, so the Nados will have to adjust. But it's the small things that I think is big for the Nados right now. Just forcing passes down low, silly turnovers. And I think they need to keep the same pressure that they had in the first quarter. And that was doing a great job for them early on as they applied a lot of pressure. And they got out to an early lead. But the Bishops did battle back. So this should be a good one here in the second half.
Most definitely. You mentioned them sort of wanting to get Harrison more involved here in the second half. But on the flip side of that, the Tornadoes are going to be looking to get Josie Hester more involved. I believe only 3 or 4 points for Josie in the first half. Three points for Hester. Obviously, Olivia Miller and McKenna Parkins were shouldering more of that scoring load in the opening half. But as we mentioned, Josie Hester typically so far this season has been more of a second half player. So while the Bishops will try and get Harrison more involved in this thing, you can take it to the bank that the Tornadoes are going to do the exact same thing with number 15, who is 3rd in the conference in points per game and the leading scorer for this team.
And she's done a good job in the first half, Josie Hester, that is, finding her teammates. She has 4 assists, and her shots were just a little bit short, so she'll be looking to be more aggressive, coming out, shooting the ball, and getting her shots to fall.
Absolutely. 4 assists and 4 rebounds for her. 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. Knocked down a couple of 3 balls in that second half on Tuesday night against Barry in that thrilling victory. So, as you say, looking for more of the same here from Hester. The horn sounds, and we are just about ready for second half basketball here at the Bosch. Tornadoes trailing at 41-32, and they will take over the possession to start the second half of action. Looking to accelerate things on the offensive end. Scored 19 in the first quarter, only 13 in the second. And we'll be looking to defend a little bit better, especially on the perimeter. Lexi Shepard around a screen from Parkins. Now to Hester up top. Josie, guarded by Corinthian Williams. Thinks about giving it to Parkins. Instead, she'll accelerate inside herself and will be blocked by Williams. Tornadoes will keep the possession. Hester trying to find action inside quickly and rejected. Parkins, right side, quickly doubled. Miller fakes, goes inside, up off the glass. Miller's got 15 already.
That was a great way to start the second half, and Olivia Miller is keeping it up and attacking the defense early.
If those 3 stay involved all night, Parkins, Hester, and Miller, this is a tough team for anybody to beat. Williams spinning around on Pouncey, and a foul on the floor. That one will go against China Pouncey. Inbound here from Goddard to Arena Harris. Now Williams trying to work on Josie Hester. Pass nearly stolen by McKenna Parkins. Instead, she will foul Charisma Harrison.
Yep. McKenna knew the ball was going down low, and she tried to go for that steal, and the refs called her for that foul.
Pass up top to Harrison, who goes up over Lexi Shepard, the smaller defender, and grabs it. Adams in the corner, drives past Parkins and is blocked by Miller. Through traffic, goes up top, Williams, left alone, Harris, trying to get by Miller, spinning around, loses it momentarily, now goes to Goddard. Up top, Harris from 3, no good. Rebound brought in China Pouncey, who goes over to Lexi Shepard. Lexi gonna push the pace. Josie in the open court. Pass, Miller up off the glass. 2 more for number 10. 17 points already at the beginning of this second half for Olivia Miller. Having a night. NATO's quickly back within 5. Williams trying to find an angle on Pouncey. Tries to get a backdoor pass. It's taken away by China. Miller got to go quickly up the court here. In no rush. Olivia hands off to Lexi Shepard. Lexi, bounce pass into Parkins, able to get it. It's tipped up in the air over to Josie Hester. Josie in the right corner, whips it into Miller. Miller hauls it in, and a foul against Williams. Corinthian Williams does not agree with the call. That'll be the first foul against the Bishops here in half number 2. Lexi looking for a pass, goes up top, Olivia. Olivia pump fakes, goes inside, floater short. First rebound of the night for Charisma Harrison, who leads the conference. As Arena Harris goes into the corner. Williams left alone from deep. It is short, but she gets her own rebound. Going up this time off the glass and fouled.
And that's what the Bishops do. They crash the glass very hard. And Lexi Shepard did a good job of boxing out number 25, Charisma Harrison, the leading rebounder for the Bishops. But that opened up the floor for another offensive rebound by number 23, Corinthian Williams.
Jada Petty-Wilkins checked back in for China Pouncey here. Williams gets the bounce on the first free throw. Lead back up to 6, 2 minutes into this third quarter. Second one good as well. Williams hits them both. Here's Shepard. Guarded tightly by Harris, goes to McKenna. McKenna just inside the three-point line, charges inside, turning around to Harrison, goes up and gets 2 more for Brevard. McKenna Parkins has 12, 29 between her and Miller already, as that one's stolen. Lexi Shepard. Lexi trying to move around and find some space. Lexi right side, pass into Parkins. Parkins, Miller, going up, 2 more for Olivia Miller. 19 points for Olivia Miller.
That's such unselfish basketball by the team by that right there.
Great
pressure by Lexi to start that off.
She saw the open teammate, and before going up with it, whipped it over to Miller, and an easy 2 as Harrison quickly pressured, trying to get it over to Harris, and does. Harris, pass nearly taken away. Jada Petty-Wilkins. Similar to what we saw from Alexis Marshall earlier, she's like a free safety over the middle.
It's great hustle and just great team rotation there by Jada Petty-Wilkins.
NATO's back within a possession for the first time in a while. 43-40 the tally as it stands. And it'll be Goddard inbound to Harrison. Facing up on Parkins. Pass into the corner. Williams, deep 2 is good. Cushion back up to 5 for Wesleyan. Olivia Miller, who's been on fire tonight, gives over to Petty-Wilkins. Jada with some space defers over to Hester. Josie over to McKenna, 10 on the shot clock. Parkins, pump fakes, goes inside. Pass over to Miller, it's over her head.
I feel like she should have gone up with that one. I see the look that she was going for, but she had her defender in the air with the pump fake, and she probably would have been better off taking that all the way to the basket.
Can't fault Parkins for trying to find the hot hand, but I agree, probably did have an open look there. As this time it's Goddard. Now left side, Adams, picked up by Lexi Shepard. Pass into Harrison. Going to try and go inside again on Parkins. This one's taken away by Josie Hester. Josie with a steal. Hester clearing teammates out, nearly travels instead, gives to Miller. Backdoor pass, Shepard can't finish.
Another good look there by Olivia Miller.
The Tornadoes continuing to get those good looks as that one's poked out by Lexi out of bounds. And Shepard will come out. Christina Roan into the ball game. Wesleyan getting some instructions from the coaching staff, Artina Trader and Isaiah Jones. Williams moving to her right, gives to Harrison. We'll see if Harrison tries to charge in again. No, she'll pass cross court to Arena Harris from deep. Can't hit. Rebound fought for between Hester and Parkins. McKenna, the one that comes down with it. Josie has a laugh about it. Now here's Christina Rowan trying to find a crease. Petty Wilkins. Parkins, straightaway three. Cannot get it. It was a good shot. Looked online, just a bit short there for number 24. 5-point game, 5:30 to go in the third here. Adams, Goddard, around a screen from Harrison, finds a crease, goes up, can't hit it. Rebound, Josie Hester. Josie out in the open floor, Goddard trailing her. Josie on the left wing, now moves to her right, spinning around, going up off the glass, too strong. Rebound off the hands of McKenna Parkins. It'll be Wesleyan basketball. The Leah Boyce will come get Parkins out, and you got to be careful here. Maybe a short leash for some of the backups here for Coach Hudson. Remember, this is where Wesleyan kind of started to take over in that first half, was when both second units came into the ball game. Josie Hester and Olivia Miller both still out there as Harris hands to Deanna Adams, who charges inside, putting it up, blocked. Rebound hauled in, Olivia Miller. Tornadoes have numbers. Olivia up the right side. Euro step goes up and blocked. Through contact, wanted a foul as Harris, surrounded by Roan, gets inside. Now up top, Adams. Straightaway three of her own, connects.
They've been doing a great job all night long of pushing the pace and finding open shooters in transition, and that is for the Bishops.
Christina Roan, 4:28 to go in the third. Don't want to let this one get back to 8 points or so. Christina dribbling behind the back, up top Miller, fires into Boyce, Nalia, a couple of back down dribbles, goes up and finds the layup.
They were able to get that one down low, and that's been success for them all night, getting it down low. And on that one, they were able to get it down there clean without a turnover.
Lead back down to 5, Anaya Hall. Has some space, thinks about it, instead goes over to Williams. Left side, Goddard, in and out. Rebound, Josie Hester. Hester, with Harris behind her, picks up her dribble and goes over to Jada Petty Wilkins. Jada called for a travel.
Yep. Jada did travel right there on that one.
Picked that foot up. And now a timeout coming here. We will step aside with 3:51 to go in the third. NATO's trailing it by 6, 48-42. Back in just a moment from the Bosch. Back out of the timeout, Michaela Street in for the Tornadoes. Nadia Simmons, as well as Harmony Martin in for North Carolina Wesleyan. Simmons on the left wing, tries to fit it into Hall, who is able to retrieve it. Hall, pass in to Goddard underneath the rim, looking for a pass now herself, and it'll be
3-second violation appears to be.
Violation, yep, against North Carolina Wesleyan, and Brevard will get the basketball back, trailing by 6. 3.5 to go here in quarter number 3. Miller up top finds a cutting street, comes down with it, going around, faking, going up, too strong on the layup, cannot finish. And that's really been a problem for the Tornadoes, is not able to finish at the basket. Going inside now, putting it up and missing is Martin, but she does get hacked there by Michaela Street.
Yeah, and the Bishops, they're really getting these rebounds and pushing it tonight. They're trying to put the pressure on the defense in transition, and has led to some big threes and also fouls, as we got number 2, Harmony Martin, at the free throw line.
First free throw rattles around and in.
Yeah, and like you said, the Tornadoes have missed a lot of chippies, as you would say, around the basket, but they still had some pretty good success down low and in the paint.
Second free throw, no good. Rebound is last touched by Wesleyan, and it'll go Brevard's way. NATO's back trailing by 7 as Christina Roan gets the basketball. Christina hands to Street. Miller, leading scorer tonight, going up, off the glass, this time too strong. Rebound fought for by Boyce, but hauled in by Goddard. Nadia Simmons gonna push the pace to her left. Hall down low. Pass back over to Simmons. Into the corner. Three-pointer is buried by Harmony Martin. And the Tornadoes have got to play some better perimeter defense. They now trail by 10 with 2:40 to go in the third. And once again, it's once the bench unit started to come in, the Wesleyan Battling Bishops kind of get a leg up on the NATOs as Jada Petty-Wilkins can't finish a layup but does knock the rebound over to Christina Roan, who fires a three and misses strong. Simmons over to Martin. Now up top, Williams trying to get by Petty-Wilkins. Will step back and fire a mid-range. Rebound, Michaela Street. Street up the floor. Wide open, Christina Roan under the basket. The layup, no good.
Those are those chippies around the basket that are huge and come down the stretch. Those are the baskets that you need to fall.
Christina Roan won't get a more open look in practice. It's happened to the best of them, though, as going inside now is Simmons, who fires up a wild shot and catches nothing but air.
That was good defense there by Roan.
Walderoff forced her to put it up. NATO's trailing by 10. Need to get some of this back before the fourth as Roan floats in a perfect pass to Nalia Boyce. Goes high off the backboard.
That was good action there, and that's what's been successful for the NATOs, is getting it down low.
Martin, fouled by Street, who did reach.
Yep, got a little overzealous on that one. She tried to jump that pass, or jump the ball handler off the screen.
Street a little annoyed at that one, whether at herself or with the official. As Dorinda Jordan will come in. Josie Hester will check back in as well. Two free throws here for Harmony Martin. First one, no good. Wesleyan is in the bonus now. That was the 5th Tornado foul Michaela Street just committed. Second free throw is good. The NATOs trailing by 9 with 1:15 to go here in the third. Crowd up in arms about something as Roan around a screen from Boyce. Miller thinks about a pass, instead gives over to Petty-Wilkins. It's stolen and a foul. Foul on Jada Petty-Wilkins, and 2 more free throws coming here for North Carolina Wesleyan.
Oh, wow. I thought that was a foul on the Bishops on that one. She was trying to jump the pass.
Called kind of a hip check foul against Jada Petty-Wilkins. And 2 free throws coming here for Alexandria Belton. Newly checked into the ball game. Haven't called her name often here tonight so far. Belton's first free throw is true. And the Tornadoes in danger here a little bit of letting this one be a bigger deficit than it should be as they enter the fourth. 11-point game, 1:03 to go in the third. Roan up top, Miller. Petty-Wilkins nearly stolen from again by Belton. Instead, Hester floats in a pass off the hands of Nalia Boyce, but Petty-Wilkins right there. She's blocked. A save attempt there from Belton, but she was out of bounds, so it will stay with the Tornadoes. Just under 51 seconds remaining in the third. Need a basket in a big way here. It'll be Roan to inbound from the baseline. Christina looking for a pass, finds Petty-Wilkins around the corner, fires up a three, can't find it. Olivia Miller gets the putback, goes up with it and gets 2 more there. That's a career high for Olivia Miller. 21 points. Her career high was 20, which she garnered last season. A chance to add on to that here with a whole nother quarter of basketball to go. Belton up top, Martin guarded by Hester. 13 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock here. Simmons, left wing, trying to bring a teammate towards her, now charges in on Roan and a foul.
And that's what Nadia Simmons, number 4, has been doing all night. if the play is not working for them, she will look to attack, and that's what she's doing a great job of all night long.
Got maybe a step there on Roan, and Christina not able to get away with it. Fouling there. Simmons, good on the first.
Yeah, a lot of the offense has been going through Olivia Miller. She's been very, very good tonight, and like you said, a new career high.
Second free throw, no good, but the offensive rebound for Wesleyan going up with the second chance, no good, but another offensive rebound going up again, no good, going up again, and another foul.
That is 3 offensive rebounds in 1 possession. And
cannot allow it.
Cannot allow that. Correct.
Nalia Boyce, who, again, we mentioned before the game, had missed the previous 3 contests with a concussion. Maybe not quite as sharp as she normally is rebounding the basketball as that first free throw misses. Kind of maybe got to get back up to speed after missing a few games with the injury.
And that's what Coach Head said before the game. The Bishops are going to send 4 or 5 and try to crash.
They almost nearly another offensive rebound, but a foul against North Carolina Wesleyan. It will be on the floor and only their second. So the Tornadoes will simply take possession as opposed to what we've been seeing from the Bishops of 2 free throws off the jump due to the bonus. Christina, clock isn't running, now it is. Roan, Petty Wilkins, over to Miller, 6 left, Petty Wilkins from deep, can't find it, rebound Wesleyan, and that'll be the third. A disappointing third quarter for the Tornadoes, but with all that being said, only trailing by 1 more than they were at the half, 56-46 as we enter the final period. And once again, similar to what we saw in the first half, Carson, it was once the 2 bench units were in for both teams, Wesleyan just started to really outpace the Tornadoes.
Yeah, you said that as soon as Hudson put in a couple of his bench players, Wesleyan just seems like they picked up their energy and started running in transition and finding open shooters. And for the offensive end, for the NATOs, just a couple missed layups around the basket, which is huge. And later on in that third quarter, the Bishops really started getting active on the rebounds and sending 4 or 5 girls to crash the boards. And it really hurt the NATOs as it led to a lot of fouls and a lot of free throws, which has extended the lead to 10, and it's 56-46 in way of the battling Bishops.
Double-digit lead for North Carolina Wesleyan, once again, as you mentioned. And if it was between the starters this contest, the NATOs would have a significant lead. But check this. Bench points for the NATOs, only 6. For North Carolina Wesleyan, 26. So outscoring the Brevard bench by 20 points, and as a result, up by 10 as we enter the final quarter of play. Expect to see a heavy dose of Parkins, Miller, and Hester. Parkins, the only one of the 3 not on the floor right now. It'll be the same 5 that the Tornadoes finished out the third with. Boyce, Petty Wilkins, Hester, Miller, and Roan. For Wesleyan, it is Jordan, Hall, Simmons, Martin, and Belton. Sticking with what's worked, the bench unit. No starters in to begin the fourth for North Carolina Wesleyan, and they're going to try and continue to dominate with their second unit as a transition shot from Jordan airballed there. The reverse layup on the second chance, no good, and a foul quickly against number 15, Alexandria Belton.
They got lucky there as she missed that layup, but number 2, Harmony Martin, was crashing the boards hard, and she got an offensive rebound but couldn't find the putback to go.
Got to assume Coach Hudson is trying to hammer it into them to box out and get these defensive rebounds, something that Tornadoes have been so good at all season. As Josie Hester going to fire from deep, can't connect. Rebound fought for, and will stay with Brevard as Belton came down with it but hit the ground and fell out.
That was good hustle there by number 11 for the Tornadoes, Jada Petty Wilkins, to keep that alive and crash those rebounds.
Jada, another one of those hustle players similar to a China Pouncey, as Roan tries to throw it into Boyce and is taken away by Jordan. In the open court, Hall, and she will be rejected by Jada Petty Wilkins, and a foul. I'm not sure these officials have ever heard of post defense or fast break defense. Everything seems to be a whistle.
Wow, I'm surprised they called that a foul. Looks like Jada Petty Wilkins just hustled all the way down the court and ripped that ball out clean, but The refs called that foul. That was a great hustle to chase that down by Jada Petty-Wilkins.
Sort of as if we summoned her, talking about the hustle that she brings, and immediately with another great hustle play. And hopefully Jada doesn't take that foul to heart, because in my personal opinion, that was not a foul.
Oh, yeah.
First free throw coming here for Anaya Hall, too strong. Off the back iron. NATO's going to have to box out here, especially Miller on Simmons. Won't matter. Second free throw is good, and the Tornadoes down 11. First 40 seconds into this fourth quarter. Alexis Marshall back in, as well as McKenna Parkins. As Marshall hands to Hester. Defensive pressure coming up from all sides by North Carolina Wesleyan, as Hester is fouled there by Harmony Martin. That's the second Wesleyan foul, less than a minute into the fourth, and that could bode well for the Tornadoes if they can get into the bonus quickly, start being aggressive. Marshall around a screen from Boyce, gives to Hester. Josie tries to float it into Boyce, and it'll be last touched by Alexandria Belton, or rather no, Jordan, Dorinda Jordan, and Nalia Boyce is on the ground, just returning from an injury today. That was a concussion. Hopefully this is not related to that, but hopefully, regardless of what it is, it isn't severe, as head coach Donald Hudson down on the baseline with the athletic trainer to check on Boyce, who is still down. And we will step aside until we know Nalia is all right. Nalia Boyce helped off the floor. Lexi Shepard comes in, so a two-point guard lineup right now with Marshall and Shepard both in, as Lexi looking for a pass. It will be Marshall up top. Alexis quickly to her left, picked up, throwing up a shot, just misses, as Shepard trying to save it. That one will be hauled in by Martin. Simmons quickly up the floor, trying to get an angle on Olivia Miller, now picked up by Shepard. Free throw line jumper from Jordan is good. And again, bounces off the front iron and in.
Those transition, man, the NATOs have to find a way to play great or better transition defense.
The Tornadoes are going to come out on top of this one. It's going to take a big fourth quarter as Marshall gives to Miller. Miller into the paint, going up with a layup and one.
She has been clicking all night. What a great drive by Olivia Miller to draw the contact and make the basket too.
23 points, a chance to make it 24. And a chance to cut the lead back down to 10 here on the free throw. Miller trying to bring the NATOs back into this one. And cannot convert on the free throw, so she'll stay at 23 points, and the lead will stay at 11. As Martin quickly on the left side over to Belton, and an offensive foul. Good job of Marshall getting the feet set there and taking the charge. That one's against Belton. And that'll be Wesleyan's fourth foul, so one more, and the NATOs are in the bonus for the rest of the game. Lexi trying to initiate the action. Away from a screen by Parkins, and a travel. She got hung up in midair by the defender. There was contact. The officials deemed that it didn't matter.
The crowd does not agree with that call, but she tried to split two defenders and got caught up in the air, and the refs chose to call the travel.
Could have been contact. Either way, it's Wesleyan ball as Corinthian Williams back into the ball game. That one is lost out of the hands of Janae Goddard, and will go the Tornadoes' way. So the Tornadoes early on in the fourth catching some breaks on the defensive side of things. Lexi brings it up slowly. Now goes to Miller. who was dominated down low all night. Fires in a pass to Hester, turning around. Josie going up off the glass, 2 more for the NATOs. Lead back down to single digits with 7.5 to play. Got to start playing a little bit better defense if the Tornadoes want to stay unbeaten in the Bosch. Williams picks up her dribble, goes over to Jordan, inside on Parkins, going up, rejected by Parkins. Rebound, though, brought in by Goddard. She loses it, back over to Jordan. She can't finish the layup. Rebound, hauled in Lexi Shepard. She's got it, she's trapped, trying to get it over to Miller, and does. Olivia racing up the floor, and she'll slow things down. Miller over to Marshall on the left wing, a cutting Hester, finds her on a bounce pass. Josie faking, covered by 3 defenders, trying to get away, and did not see, it looks like an offensive foul.
I believe it was a 3 seconds violation they called there.
Violation against the Tornado offense. Wesleyan will get the ball back up 9 with just under 7 minutes to play.
And Josie was looking for that post shot again, but just got caught up by the defense and
Marshall,
did not kick it out.
Marshall might have seen her a second too late on the cut.
Yep.
Gave Wesleyan time to come up to her as Jordan goes over to Simmons. Simmons, pressure from Shepard, and a foul. Some very antsy officials here tonight in this one. 34 combined fouls on the two teams. 17 on each side as a quick pass into Jordan, who fires it up, can't find it. Offensive rebound snatched out of the hands of Parkins. Second chance opportunity, no good. A jump ball, and the possession arrow will point Brevard's way. Maybe another break on the defensive end for the Tornadoes, who are giving up a few too many offensive rebounds and second chances to Wesleyan. Lexi. Miller. Down low, Josie. Turning around. Going up. Can't finish. Rebound knocked out of the hands of McKenna Parkins and brought in by Goddard, who is fighting now. Over to Adams. Pass off of the feet of Simmons. Simmons going to try and get up the floor and will. Now pass Lexi Shepard. Inside. Floater. No good, and a foul.
Wow.
I don't know where the foul was on that one. That one's against McKenna Parkins. And man, you don't ever want to criticize officials really on the broadcast, but there are some calls that I've been a little bit unsure of.
Surely the crowd does not agree with a lot of these calls.
Can't imagine that they do. 2 free throws for Simmons, and she buries the first. Lead back up to 10, 6:08 to go. And both of them pure. Lead up to 11, and Brevard's going to have to start stringing together some buckets and some stops if they want this one to come down to the wire. Marshall, left wing, over to McKenna up top. McKenna fires it into Miller. It's off her leg, and another Tornado turnover.
They were trying to force it down low and just threw it a little too hard for Olivia to catch.
Only 4 Brevard points nearly 5 minutes into this fourth quarter. As Harrison turning around on Parkins, quickly doubled, and another foul. Hester not happy at all with that. And the fans are letting the officials hear it. I don't blame them.
And we've seen that before. They sent that double at number 25, Charisma Harrison, and I can see why. She's leading the league or leading the conference in rebounds and leading the team in points.
Williams quickly gets it, throws it out. I say last touched by a Tornado. Perhaps she did that on purpose, realizing she was stuck. Adams looking for an inbound pass, tries to fit it into Harrison, and it's taken away. Josie Hester, long pass over to Miller, who hauls it in with one arm. One-on-one, pass over to Marshall. She can't handle it. Does get it back, however. Mid-range jumper is good. Money there from Alexis Marshall.
So that might have worked out in the best way for the NATOs right there. She lost the ball but was able to stay with it and knock down the mid-range shot. 9-point
basketball game, far from over here. NATO's trying to stay unbeaten on their home floor as this one fitted into Harrison, who's going to pass out. Williams inside, spinning around, going up, too strong. Rebound brought in McKenna Parkins. McKenna Over to Marshall over her left shoulder. Marshall inside. Goes up with a layup. Cannot finish. Too many layups have been smoked by the Tornadoes here tonight. And if they do end up losing this ballgame, that'll be a big reason why. Timeout, North Carolina Wesleyan. NATO's trailing it by 9. 4:45 to go here from the Bosch. And we will be right back. We'll take a break here. Back in just a moment. Back out on the floor, Tornadoes trailing it by 9 with just under 5 minutes to go here. And if this thing does end up as a North Carolina Wesleyan victory, the reason for that will be probably between the free throws and the threes. North Carolina Wesleyan has shot 26 free throws to Brevard's 13, and then the NATO's 0 for 10 from beyond the arc. Wesleyan 6 for 12, 50% clip from deep. As Williams looking for a pass, still not finding anything. 10 on the shot clock, gives over to Goddard. Adams up top, moves to her right, 5 on the shot clock. Harrison going to drive inside, float it up, can't find it. Rebound brought in by McKenna Parkins. Parkins over to Lexi Shepard. Lexi, great pass over to Miller. Miller, pump fakes, goes up, can't finish, fights for the rebound, knocks it over to Shepard. Lexi going up, she's blocked and fouled. So the Tornadoes into the bonus now for the final 4 minutes and 15 seconds of this one. 2 free throws, 2 big free throws coming here from Lexi Shepard. Can cut the lead down to 7 as a Coach Donald Hudson timeout will come here with 4:15 to go, and we will stay right here. Carson, what do you think the Tornadoes are going to have to do aside from the obvious here over this final 4 minutes and 15 seconds?
Yeah, besides from just making the basket, the shots around the basket, they need to really lock in and play defense for these final 4 minutes and 15 seconds and not allow any offensive rebounds and wall up in transition and find shooters in transition also, because that has hurt them. But like you said, the Bishops are winning the free throw battle, and a lot of that comes from those offensive rebounds. They get those rebounds and then go back up with them quick, and they don't have to foul. So other than making those short baskets, layups, just playing defense these final 4 minutes and try to make a run here.
Absolutely. And again, 2 big free throws coming here for Lexi Shepard, and any foul by the Bishops over this final stretch will result in free throws for the Tornadoes. So expect them to be more aggressive here down the stretch. But also, with that being said, the NATOs have 4 fouls themselves, so 1 more by them, and it's bonuses on both sides. As Michaela Street will come into this one. Josie Hester on the bench right now, 3 fouls for her. Can't imagine she'll sit for too long.
I agree. I don't think the night is over for Josie Hester just yet.
Not her best shooting night, only 1 of 8 from the field, but with a player like that, you always are going to want them in crunch time, regardless of how they've played leading up to that, as Lexi Shepard misses free throw number 1. Needs to at least knock down this second one. And does. 8-point lead. Tornadoes starting to apply pressure. A trap. That one over the head of Lexi Shepard into Williams. Into the corner, Harris. Going to fire from wide open in the corner and connects. That one really hurts out of the timeout if you're the Tornadoes. Not able to knock down both free throws, and immediately the trap coming to burn you as Lexi around a screen, accelerates inside. Turning around, looking for a pass. Needs to get into the set quicker. Parkins turning around, doubled. Into the corner, Marshall. It's stolen from her by Adams. 3:45 to go as Harris gets the basketball. will pass over to Williams. Now back to Harris. Williams, a three of her own, hits it, and the foul. And this is going to be tough to come back from for the Tornadoes.
It just looks like that defensive energy that was there in the first half is not there right now for the NATOs as the Bishops pushed the ball up the court and got an and 1-3 out of it.
Chance to push this lead all the way up to 15. Not at all what you want to see out of the timeout. Coach Donald Hudson calling a timeout, and immediately a missed free throw, gives up a three-pointer, a turnover, gives up another three-pointer that turns into a 4-point play with the foul. And this one might be out of reach for the Tornadoes with 3:33 to go, barring an offensive explosion down the stretch. Lexi has a crease to her left, and now an offensive foul against the Tornadoes, and nothing is going Brevard's way here down the final stretch. And a team that really, since the matchup started last year, has had Coach Hudson's number, appears that they'll have it once more here on the Bosch floor, as that one tipped up in the air and retained by North Carolina Wesleyan. Williams with the basketball, now Adams. To her left, Adams into the corner, Williams. Thinks about the three again. This time will charge in, but then retreat with Miller on her. Trying to find a pass to Harrison. Into the corner now, Harris nearly steps out, is able to stay with it. Going inside, pass taken away by Olivia Miller. Straight to her, as a matter of fact. Miller driving, going up, and is fouled. Less than 3 minutes to go, the Tornadoes trailing by 15, but can at least try and make this a closer contest, as Olivia Miller can add on to her career high. 23 points for her. Again, a new career mark. Chance to add on a few more here over the final couple of minutes.
She's been efficient all night, 10 for 14 from the field. It's a great all-around game for number 10, Olivia Miller, and as you said, a new career high.
Misses a bit too strong on that first free throw. Going to try and split the pair here and cut the lead to 14, and will not. Empty-handed on the trip of the stripe, and it's been that kind of night for the NATOs, at least that kind of second half. A game that was looking really good at multiple different points for the Tornadoes, as Adams is fouled by Lexi Shepard.
Trying to pick the pressure up full court. Got called for the reach there.
NATOs will fall to 1-3 in the matchup history against North Carolina Wesleyan. Got a sting to get that early season rematch against the team that knocked you out last postseason and fall short once again on your home floor. As a matter of fact, the first home loss, if it stands, for the Tornadoes, as Adams misses her first free throw. Adams with 6 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Make it 7. Lead up to 16. Lexi up the floor. Around Miller. Now hands to Marshall. Alexis Marshall stepping back. Gives to Parkins on the right wing. Picked up by Harrison. Street around the corner. Goes inside, puts it up, and is fouled. And one. A chance for a three-point play for the Tornadoes.
Michaela Street is so good at that, getting downhill and her speed just to blow by the defender and get down here and make the basket, plus the contact.
Absolutely. Only 2 points tonight for Street. A chance to double her mark, or actually no, add 1. Nearly forgot this was an opportunity for a three-point play. Only 2 Tornadoes in double figures, as Street can't knock down the free throw. Adams fouled. Lexi Shepard getting a bit too aggressive down the stretch, trying to make something happen in that full court defense. And so 2 more free throws coming here for Adams as the NATOs trail by 14. All that's left for this one is to play out.
You love to see the pressure from the NATOs, but you don't want to foul in this type of situation, as the Bishops are in the bonus and can hurt with these free throws.
Adams not able to extend the lead on that one there. Both of them no good there for Adams, as Marshall going to try and get some offense going late. Lexi Shepard between 2 defenders, puts a move, pumps the brakes, mid-range, short, and the rebound fought for and brought in by Williams. Simmons on Shepard. And now Adams once more. 2 minutes to go. Miller gets around a screen from Harrison. Now Simmons. Corner, Corinthian Williams. Adams nearly taken away by Alexis Marshall, who did have a beat on it. 6 on the shot clock. Simmons inside. Pass wide open. Transition jumper for Harrison is there. And insult to injury as Wesleyan goes up 16 with 1:34 to go. Street charging inside again. This time Miller left elbow fakes, goes up off the glass. 2 more for Olivia Miller. She's got 25. One of the few offensive bright spots tonight for the Tornadoes.
And you expect the Bishops to try to milk the clock here and not rush and take any shots as they maintain a 14-point lead with 1 minute and 10 seconds left to go.
Goddard around a Harrison screen. Leading by 14. Adams charges inside. Going to try and milk as much clock. No, Goddard going to fire a 3. Can't find it. Marshall over to Shepard. Hitting the brakes once more. Now past the Street in the corner. Street able to haul it in after bobbling. Now charges inside, puts it up, and gets fouled. So the Tornadoes are not going to be able to overcome this deficit, but will have a chance to get a bit closer here, which, believe it or not, could matter down the stretch once it gets to tiebreakers and things of that nature. So 2 coming here for Michaela Street from the stripe. Only 2 Tornadoes tonight scored more than 5 points, and that was Olivia Miller and McKenna Parkins. And when it comes to facing a team like North Carolina Wesleyan, that's one of the top dogs in the conference, that's just simply not going to cut it when it comes to the offensive output from the team as a whole. Wesleyan, a very cohesive team unit, as you've seen tonight with their bench performance. And the Tornadoes, you can't play the way they've played tonight when it comes to an opponent like this. You can't shoulder the scoring load on 2 or 3 players, as Wesleyan will call a timeout with 33.5 remaining in this one, and Tornado fans not really happy with that timeout. I'm sure there's some purpose behind it by head coach Artina Trader, but does prolong the ending of this one, which we do already know the outcome to, with the Nados trailing by 14.
Yeah, and I think a big part of this lead and the outcome here is, like you said, when the bench was put in, the Bishops really fought and was able to pull away with just small things like layups, missed layups around the basket. And all night long, the Bishops did a great job of pushing in transition and were able to find open shooters and just pull away here in the second half.
31 bench points for North Carolina Wesleyan. Nearly half of their total points as Michaela Street able to get a steal here. Street, Shepard in the corner, drives inside, tries to find Miller and can't. Skips the pass right on by her. And the shot clock will turn off for this final possession. North Carolina Wesleyan probably just try and dribble this one out. Street still in trap mode. Now she'll back off. Shepard on Adams, trying to fight for it. Ball's on the ground. Adams will be called for a travel. And at the very least, even if the Tornadoes are going to fall in this one, you see them fighting hard up until that final whistle, which does show a lot in a team to just not fold over and die when you easily could in a game like this where nothing's gone your way. Parkins, 5 seconds left, tries to float one into Marshall, and it'll be knocked out with 2.6 to go. Two and a half to go. See if the Nados can get one more basket here. Marshall into the corner. Street going to put one up and convert. So if you could bet on D3 Sports, that might have just messed somebody's parlay up, but you can't. And the Tornadoes will find themselves losers 71-59 here at the Bosch to North Carolina Wesleyan. Very similar to the loss that we saw here to Wesleyan on our home court last season, a game that saw the Tornadoes fall 77-67 here on their home court. But the good news, if you want to find more parallels from last season, is that the Tornadoes did get the victory when they went on the road to Wesleyan in the regular season, a slim 4-point win. We will be back here in just a moment for post-game thoughts, stats, and analysis. Don't go anywhere, folks. NATO's falling in this one 71-59 to the North Carolina Wesleyan Battling Bishops. Their first loss on their home floor and their first conference loss of the year, now 1-1 in USA South play. Back in just a moment from the Bosch, Brady Penn and Carson Evans. Back here from the Bosch, Tornadoes falling short in this one in a conference clash, a conference rematch from last postseason, 71-59 against the North Carolina Wesleyan Battling Bishops. And just taking a look at some of these team stats that seem to have made the difference possibly. 3-pointers, one of the ones that really sticks out. North Carolina Wesleyan shooting at over a 50% clip, 8 of 15 from beyond the arc for the Tornadoes, 0 for 10. Could not knock down a single tray. And they came into this ball game was one of the better three-point shooting teams in the conference. The Tornadoes not able to keep that trend up in this one. When it comes to the free throws as well, North Carolina Wesleyan did a better job getting to the stripe. 31 free throws for the Battling Bishops. BC with 20 kind of evened it out a little bit more towards the end once this one was decided. And then obviously I'll let you take it away after this one for a minute, Carson. I know you and Coach Hudson talked about the rebounding battle. Tornadoes, the best defensive rebounding team in the conference coming into the night, losing the rebounding battle. Talk to us about what you saw a little bit on the glass on both sides of the floor.
Yeah, I think in the first half, the NATOs did a great job limiting offensive rebounds and team rebounding on the defensive end. But I think in the second half, it just looks like the Bishops were crashing the boards very aggressively and getting a lot more offensive rebounds, and the NATOs were I don't know if it was mishaps or miscommunications, but they didn't do the best job on the offensive glass in the second half, and that led to a lot of second chance points, which hurt them, and free throws, which also hurt the NATOs.
The other main thing that really hurt the Tornadoes was the bench points. We saw at multiple junctures in this game, Carson, that once both teams' second units came into the game, it was the Wesleyan unit pretty easily prevailing And as a result, North Carolina Wesleyan's bench outscoring Brevard 31-12. And when you take a look at the Tornado offense as a whole, it was really carried by two players, Olivia Miller and McKenna Parkins. Olivia with 25 points, a career high for her. Of course, it stings to have a career high and a loss. I'm sure she won't care as much about that as the Tornadoes losing the game. But 6 rebounds for her as well. And for McKenna Parkins, 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. So between the two of them, 37 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. The rest of the team, only 22 points, 19 rebounds, and turned the ball over 11 times. So once again, like we were saying late in that game, when you're playing a team as deep as North Carolina Wesleyan, you can't rely on 1 or 2 scorers. You need to kind of get everybody involved early and let the flow of the offense dictate what Wesleyan has to do on the defensive side of things. Carson, first time on the broadcast. Any final thoughts for you as we wrap this thing up?
Man, I had a blast, and it was great to do it alongside with you, Brady. And I definitely want to come back and do some more games, not even just basketball, but also other sports for the Brevard College Tornadoes. But other than that, it was a great game, and it was a great first experience for me, and I appreciate you allowing me to do this with you. And it was fun, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, Carson. It was a blast having you on the call, and you heard it here first, folks. We will be hearing much more of Carson Evans, and we will be seeing much more of Carson Evans. Carson on the Brevard College men's basketball team who play on this same floor tomorrow night against Bob Jones. A chance for revenge, Carson. Maybe tell us a little bit before we go of what you guys are expecting to see the second time around from the Bruins.
Yeah, the first matchup a few weeks ago, we just didn't play the best team defense. We were getting blown by a lot and not closing out fully on shooters. And we just have to make some simple adjustments, but we've had success against Bob Jones in the past. So we look to make those adjustments and come out strong tomorrow.
100%. Well, there you have it, folks. NATO's falling 71-59. They will take on Salem on the road this Saturday. Their only second road contest of the year. And then tomorrow night, men's basketball action at the Bosch against Bob Jones. Signing off here with Carson Evans alongside me, I am Brady Penn. Until next time, let's go NATOs.